Social bookmarking is something else that's proven very, very popular. As I said in the slide about social networking, there is much more of a crossover between bookmarking and networking nowadays. They're both doing a bit more of each other, and the boundaries are starting to blur. So basically, social bookmarking is sharing your internet bookmarks or sites that you found that are of interest with other people. Usually it's just a click of a button, but it's a good way of other people seeing what you found interesting. The main benefit for you as an internet marketer is that it counts as a backlink to your website. And the backlinks will obviously help you rise up the search engines and get more free organic search engine traffic. So that's really one of the big benefits. And of course, it will generate traffic itself. Some of the big sites like Dig or StumbleUpon can get you thousands of visitors in a day just from a simple post there. But obviously it's not quite that simple, otherwise everyone will do it. But if you know how to do it, you can get an awful lot of visitors from it. So obviously you get the traffic from the social bookmarking site, and you get the traffic from boosting your search engine rankings. And you can, done properly, get lots of traffic quickly. But the real key is that you have to bookmark something that is worth sharing. If you bookmark something like a sales page, you're going to lose out. It's going to be gone. It's not interesting. But if you can bookmark an article or something similar like that, that people go, hey, wow, that's really interesting, you're going to do well. It's got to be something that is worth sharing. If it's not, you've had it. Some of these social networking sites will allow people to basically delete things that aren't of interest or aren't very newsworthy. So it's in your best interest to make sure that it is. Now, how do you effectively use social bookmarking? Well, firstly, you need to make it as easy as possible for your website visitors to bookmark your site or your blog posts or whatever it might be. Now, this means put buttons on each post. If you want them to dig it, put a dig button right at the start of the post. If you've got a WordPress blog, you can get plugins that will put lines of icons to socially bookmark them afterwards. So make it easy. Make it so simple that anybody of any level of skill can do it and get your site socially bookmarked. As I said, put the buttons wherever you can, as many as you can. Obviously don't clutter the information, but make it obvious. Don't make it so that people have to sit there and go, oh, where is it? Where is it? I can't see it. Make it so they sit and go, oh, that's good, I'll dig it. You know, you can even put something on there that says, if you enjoyed this article, please share it with your friends and give them all the buttons there. That will help. One thing you can do, again, you're heading in sort of grey area of ethics with this, but get together a network of friends and family and get them to bookmark your sites as well. Because quite often with the social bookmarking sites, you have to have the more times your site is bookmarked, then the higher it's going to appear in the rankings on the social bookmarking site, which means the more traffic. So if you can get some friends and family to bookmark your site, it's going to boost it up a little in the social bookmarking site rankings and just help more people see it. As I said, a good story with lots of, say, digs, for example, can give you thousands and thousands of visitors. Now, there are traffic cooperatives out there that will do this for you. Some of them are cheap, some of them are not so cheap. It depends upon how much money you have and what your budget is. Not everyone can afford to join a traffic cooperative, but if you can, that will help you to get other people to socially bookmark your site, which is going to help you rise up the search engine rankings. Now, you have to make sure that any posts you make are informative and interesting. If they're not, then what's going to happen? It's going to basically get buried and lost and no one's going to see it. You have to make sure that whatever you're posting is unique, it's something that people's going to read and go, wow, that's really, really interesting. Because the more you can make them say it's interesting, the more they are going to vote for it and help it increase its rankings. So, as I said, a lot of these places, a lot of these sites will delete things that aren't newsworthy or aren't good enough. So make sure it is. Now, you can get a bit more interest by being controversial. Don't be offensive, because if you're offensive, then obviously people aren't going to be as interested. You know, you're not going to get the right sort of interest that gets a credit card out and buys something. So be controversial. When I say be controversial, what I mean is challenge the status quo, the accepted viewpoint on a niche. So instead of towing the party line and saying, in order to lose weight you have to eat less, come up with something unique and controversial. Sit there and say, you know what, diets don't work, they suck, or something like that. That gets people's attention, because you're challenging what is considered the status quo. But again, be careful of that fine line between controversy and offensiveness. Cross it over and you won't get the right sort of attention. As a